There are a number of plays that have been floating around for a while, and one of the things that I've tried to do is to, over these seasons, is to keep things in mind that have had some exciting energy behind them and bring them in at the appropriate time. Coriolanus is an example of that. It was something that we wanted to do from the very beginning. When we did the benefit, that scene made a lot of people say, oh, we should definitely do that play at some point. So waiting for them, we kept putting it off year after year, and then finally found a good place for it in this coming up season. So there are a number of plays like that that I think are very much in the mix, that have been brought up year after year, and we haven't yet found a time or a place to do them. And I don't know, again, if this year is the time, but I certainly want to put them out there. Plays like that include Othello, Antony and Cleopatra, and others. There was the discussion last year about Chekhov and whether we wanted to do that. It would seem like Uncle Vanya would be the only one that would be available for that. Several people over the time have mentioned Richard II. Now, whether we'd want to do Richard II and Henry IV Part 1 in one season would be something that would be worth talking about. It could be good, it could be less good, I don't really know. I mean, there's a possibility that we might want to do Henry IV and Richard II and just go through that whole cycle of history, of English history. Or that we could do one this year and one the following year, if that made more sense. I think it's a play we want to do fairly soon. There are a number of other projects that have been put out there, and of course I'm very eager to hear from you if there are other plays in the canon. Speaking of Chekhov, which I just did, I think that brings up the question of whether we're, of non-Shakespearean titles, and whether we want to do another one next year or not. And I think that that's very open to discussion. I personally believe that we shouldn't necessarily be hidebound to do Shakespeare or to not do Shakespeare anymore. So that if we have 4 Shakespeare plays that we really like and want to do, we do 4 Shakespeare plays. If there's a play that there's a strong and urgent need to do that's not Shakespeare, then we do that. And that's kind of how I feel about it, but I'm obviously also open to hear other people's feelings about it.